my beautiful people. Welcome. This is Casey Pacheco, and I am the host of Meet the Experts. And today we have beautiful Emily Knife. She is one of the co founders of Modern Nurse Festival, and she is here to tell us all about this festival, all about Nurses for Nurses, and this beautiful movement that they are birthing. So hang tight if you're watching this live or you're watching the replay. We're just going to be 30 minutes and we're going to share so much with you. So we're going to welcome in Emily. Welcome, welcome.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Welcome to the show, Emily. Emily, now you guys have been like really stirring up some activity here on social media about this upcoming Modern Nurse Festival. So I just wanted to bring you both in just to share a little bit about what this is about, why it started, and how nurses could support you. So welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Emily.
Yeah, Casey, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you and everything you bring, and your energy is amazing. So never stop shining because you're amazing. I love you so much. So yes, thanks for having me on. I just need to give a shout out to Casey because she has been a prime person in this launch of Modern Nurse Fest and really getting it out to the masses. And she's been such an integral part of that. So thank you, Casey, for helping us with this revolution.
You are very welcome. And I know this is going to be huge. And this is a journey. This is definitely a journey.
Yeah, a journey of trusting the unseen. And it's so interesting of how we have to believe when we can't see something. And has been the hardest part of seeing a vision, but not seeing it like in the 3D per se. So Modern Nurse Fest kind of came to me during I was doing yoga and Modern Nurse Fest like dropped in. I was like, oh, what's this? And I just kind of put it to the side. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Put it to the side. And then a couple months later, last year, like March time, it came up again as I was like doing movement with my body. And I was like, okay, this is the second time I've heard it. I was like, maybe there's something to this. And so late July rolls around and I was out paddleboarding and that came to me again. And I was like, okay, God, universe, source, like I heard you now 3 times at the door.
Yes, trying to get your attention, right?
Yes, yeah. So he was like flashing all this in front of me. I was like, okay, I got you. So I just went home and I kind of like sat with it. I was like, what does this look like? What does this even mean? And so I was like, okay, what I can do is I can do an online fest because I'm really good at like online marketing, digital products, courses, like that's my wheelhouse. And I was like, I can just do a massive like gathering and that will be I can do that. Right. So, and I love gathering people. And that's like one of the things I just love to do is just like bring a bunch of people together, like so different. And then they all start talking. They're like, oh my God, you're like me. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're all very similar, but we're very unique. Right. And so I did this one in October. It was online. We had 300 people, nurses from around the world participate. And I was just blown away. And I was just like, wow, this is needed. And so Jen Crow, who is now the co-founder of Modern Nurse Fest, was one of our speakers, one of our 24 speakers. And she talked about Nurses for Nurses, which is now an association. So I'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
But yeah, so she was like, hey, I did this online Modern Nurse Fest with you in October. I was like, yeah, I remember you. You're amazing. And she's like, let's bring it to Alaska. And I was like, shall we? Yes, we shall. Say less.
Alaska. Wow. I love it. I love it. And what we talked with Jen and she says like conferences hardly ever get to Alaska, right?
Yeah, it's very far and few between, and just the excitement of it. There's lots of cyclical nursing up there, so it's like hospital jumping per se, where nurses aren't really seeing a expansion of a view of nursing. They're just kind of seeing what's in the area, and especially being above the lower 48, they're kind of almost isolated in a sense.
Yes.
And I looked up if there has been any nursing conferences there, and I could not find any. So we might be the actual first nursing conference to ever be held there. There's been like association meetings and gatherings, but there's not been a conference.
Not a conference. Oh, wow.
Yes. So this will be not just a one and done, and that's with all Modern Nurse Fest it's a community. So nurses are community. And so often we've been pulled apart by society, by our hospital administrators, by our nursing schools. We get into be competitive with each other. And it's not a united front. It's a very like, I'm against you, like I'm not going to help you. And so I love when people come together because shit happens, like stuff gets done. And if we all can see that we're really fighting for the same thing,
yes,
then we don't look at the next nurse next to us and be like, I'm so different than you, because we are actually both nurses. So your heart is in the same thing. Our beliefs and values might be different, but our heart, that's what matters. It doesn't matter what you believe or what you value in that moment. We actually have the same gift that we want to give to the world. So that's what I want to really bring into Modern Nurse Fest, that we are the heart, and not to be like cringy, but we are the heart of healthcare. We are the actual heart of healthcare, not sick care, of healthcare. And nurses are going to make the strides and differences. Like we have like flip the zip, like make your own hospital as a nurse. What does that look like? Dream it, right? So
yes, and to even come up with some of these things as nurses, all these innovations or just improvement, we need to be together as a nursing body. We need to actually touch hands, meet different nurses in our area to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. So the networking piece and the vendor and exhibitor area of every Modern Nurse Fest will feature nurse-owned businesses. And it's not the typical like nurse things that you see in the hospital. And that's why we're inviting the community in. And this is the actual first conference that the community is invited in. Like usually it's very like close the door. Turn the lights down low. The community's not allowed in, right? Like, so there's areas that the community can flow through, like the exhibitor area, the vendor area, where we have those nurse featured businesses. So maybe somebody that's interested in metabolic health or doesn't even know what that means. And then they get to see that, or interested in IV hydration, or legal nursing, or social media and what that looks like for nursing, right? So there's lots of cool topics that, you know, nurses might have not thought of. And that's where we come in and we're like, hey, we got this. Like we have all these cool topics that kind of pull from a lot of different conferences. And that's why Modern Nurse Fest is really the conference for all nurses, including nursing students, CNAs, and STNAs. Like we need them as well. So yeah.
And I know you're started in Alaska, but I know you have big vision. And the vision, and I think this is where the audience would really appreciate seeing the difference between this and even other nurse conferences, because there are some alternative nurse conferences, but this one is kind of like special because it travels, right?
Yeah. Jen actually says it's like our traveling circuit, which I absolutely adore and love. And I go more on like the music route, like we're going on tour, and we're going like because I love music festivals. So either way, we're both right. It's a gathering, and we're showing up in really every single state. This is like our ongoing goal, is to show up in every single state. So like Idaho, we're coming for you. Minnesota, we're coming for you. Like places that don't get to see action. And those nurses get left out just because it's like not a destination city. Like that's BS. Like we love them too, right? So so we're starting in Alaska, like you said, in this year. And then we hop into 2026. We're hitting Florida, Massachusetts, Texas, and California. And then we have online in November, but that's kind of around the world situation. But in the lower 48, California, Texas, Florida, and Massachusetts. So super cool. Like,
So this is really interesting because I'm trying to explain it to everyone, and I often say there is this traveling component, but then there's this awesome Heartbeat RN online community that's actually going to keep everybody together and keep all like keep the community together. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah. So once again, you said the word community, and it ties in so well to really our mission is community. And so heartbeatrn.org is this amazing platform of nurses. It's a free platform that
Mhm.
you can get courses, you can take your ideas and make them into actually true 3D in the reality things, whether it's a book, a course, maybe you want to run a retreat. So it's really like a big area that nurses gather that can get free coaching. So we also have monthly coaching, and that's also where the Nurses for Nurses Association resides. So we have a lot of different other communities in there, like our Nurse Dream Lab, Sober Shift RN, which all tie into different things that nurses may want to do. So those are just like mini little communities with membership options. So we
Okay.
have really something for everybody. But like you said, Modern Nurse Fest doesn't just end when it's done. It keeps
Yes.
going. And so within every community, we have that Heartbeat RN online, but also we are hiring program directors in each of the states to keep ongoing, whether it be a gathering, we're going to call it like the clubhouse. So nurses will be coming in for monthly like CEs. They can come in at any time and like shop Moxie scrubs or look at the little marketplace. Maybe there's a nurse that makes earrings or jewelry. So we're going to also feature our nurse authors in there. So we have like this huge healing empire that we're creating, and I'm just here for it. Like it's exciting.
This is awesome. You know what I like about your space, Emily,
Yeah.
is that you guys created this so well thought of that it is so inclusive of other nurses and whatever else they might be doing. Because I notice sometimes in the nursing world, like if someone's having like their conference, they're like, "Don't take my people, don't take my my exhibitors," but you're like, "Hey." Okay, maybe you have a conference once a year. Well, come share it as we go all through the United States. I'm sure other nurses will want to come. So it's not exclusive, it's inclusive. I really, really like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, we would love for other associations like to haul wherever we are, like haul their people to us and like join in the excitement and gathering because, you
Nice.
know, there's a community for everybody. And like Modern
Mhm.
Nurse Fest is just kind of like the little seed, and it allows everybody to kind of pick like what seed they want to grow. And that's why associations are so important. So yeah, like bring it, associations, clubs, whatever, like we are here for it. So absolutely.
So nurses are like listening to this. They're listening to it live or they're listening to the replay and they're like, okay, Emily, what do I need to do? Like your first one is Alaska. I probably can make it. But when you come to my area, whether it's Florida, Texas, Massachusetts, how could I support this movement?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question, Casey. And we are getting a huge amount of messages that are coming in, like from Texas and Florida. So if you're in those states that are in 2026, you can go to modernnurse.org and really kind of see where we are going. But we also have a profit sharing program, which is amazing because every nurse should be wealthy, healthy, and happy. And we believe that because wealth is in abundance. And so if we can help you grow and you help us grow, it's a beautiful exchange. So with our affiliate program, if you sell a ticket, you get like $80. One ticket. You share your link and you make $80. Like, ah. So this is something that I'm actually teaching about at Modern Nurse Fest. And I just taught at the awesome National Nurses Business Association with Nina Hart and Casey Goff. That was an absolute fabulous conference, by the way. And so they're doing one next year again. So make sure you check out them as well if you're interested in business as nurses. So yeah, absolutely. It's pretty amazing what we're trying to do, what we will do, what we will accomplish.
Absolutely. And I think nurses are not used to all of this attention coming their way. So it may take some time for nurses to hear and catch on, but once it starts going, oh my gosh, full steam ahead. You guys will be so busy. And I just wanted to ask a little bit about the Nurse Dream Lab. You mind sharing what that's about?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, it really kind of stemmed from me having a dream and having like when I started on entrepreneur journey, I had like multiple businesses, and it wasn't until I was just like trying to figure it out. Like I was like, okay, that's not working. Do something else. That's not working.
Like all of us.
Yeah, like all of us, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, darn it, I wish there was somebody out there. And there's lots of nurses, like I just mentioned, like Nina Hart, like is really good at this as well. But it's having somebody to guide you. And so that's why I was like, Nurse Dream Lab, like how dope would it be to have a community of nurses that love being with me? And I'm going to teach them how to do affiliate, passive income, create digital products, use AI to their advantage to actually automate their business and just streamline a lot of things that we do that aren't necessary, but we do them because we're nurses and we think we have to do everything. We have to have control over everything. And so that's where I come in. What's special about Nurse Dream Lab is I take my somatic embodiment training of reprogramming your neuroplasticity in your brain, in your nervous system, and helping you achieve new habits and new language model. So the language that we usually speak in nursing is very limited on expansion. And so we really try to hone in on the expansiveness and what you're capable of in the Nurse Dream Lab, and really just have you dream, like have you daydream again. That's why it's called the Nurse Dream Lab, because visioning will get you what you want. I do it all the time, no joke.
I believe this. I believe this. And this is how I know you will be successful, Emily. I'm going to take just 1 minute to just get a short note from the sponsors. And then when we come back, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I want to see some of that somatic movement. And I want to talk a little bit about the actual content, because I think this holistic piece, this actual embodiment at a conference is going to be very key. So just give us 1 minute and we will be right back.
Beautiful.
Podcast today. Thank you so much for being in the audience. I just wanted to say a shout out to our sponsor. The sponsor of this podcast is The Spark is Love. It is the YouTube channel that hosts all of the past content from Meet the Experts. So if you can be so kind to go over to The Spark is Love on YouTube and subscribe. Our goal is to hit 500 subscribers by the end of this year. So we would appreciate if you give us some love over there. Also, if you would like coaching one-on-one with yours truly, be sure to go onto my website, thepreserversoflife.com, and you can fill out a contact form, and one of my team, we will be sure to be getting back in touch with you. Thank you so much for joining the podcast, and we'll see you next time. Remember, the spark is always love. And we are back. We are with the beautiful Emily Knife. She is the co-founder of Modern Nurse Festival, and we're talking all about Modern Nurse Festival happening September 24th, 25th in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska.
Yes.
Now, we're going to put Emily on the spot here a little bit, because she's actually an educator, strong background in education, and she has done something very, very amazing. She has created what's called somatic nursing, and so she's very much into holistic well-being of the nurse, and this is embedded in the conference. So would you share a little bit of somatic nursing, or just, I don't know if you have a practice you want to share, or just something so that the audience could taste what somatic nursing is about?
Somatic nursing. Yeah. It's funny because I've been focusing on modern nursing so much that like it's kind of gone to the wayward, but it's still, it's still here. We learn about the nervous system in nursing school, but we don't really dive into how it can actually change our neurobiology of our mind. And so I've done a lot of training with Dr. Joe Dispenza, Peter Levine, a familiar book, or you might have heard of The Body Keeps Score. Those are kind of along the lines of somatic nursing. And so somatic nursing is about getting in touch with the habits and the conscious and subconscious. And we are just really a bunch of habits walking around. And like at any time, you can change a habit. It's really profound. And once you understand that we have this power, that's where like the fight over addiction becomes in the past. And you can now choose a different option rather than going to that same option. It's really creating new habits. And so somatic nursing, it's also tapping into the neuroplasticity. So your neurons are firing a certain way, and they have for a long time. And if you want to change the way they're firing, you create or say or do different things. So here's an example. So if you have a piece of paper, or you can get out your phone and open your notes, I want you to think of 3 things that you tell yourself consistently that are probably hurtful, like I'm stupid, or I'm ugly, or I can't do this. Things that you consistently say. We're human. We have a negative bias, so our mind is actually focused on trying to survive, unless we give it the opportunity to thrive, right? So we're going to give it the opportunity in this moment. So you have those limiting beliefs written down, and maybe it's like one for me was like, I can't make money. I can't make money. And I sat on that for a really long time. Like, I need more degrees, right? I need more degrees. I need more certifications. And I'm like,
yes, you need more education. That's true. That's a big one.
yeah. So a lot of times we don't need more. We need to focus on what we have, right? And I mean, we can see that like in scripture. We can see that in the Greek people have written about that kind of stuff like way before us. And it's like, why aren't we listening to that, right? So, so those limiting beliefs, so those words that you written down, now I want you to take the number from 0 to 10, and I want you to weigh it out as heavy as it is in your brain and your biology, as often as you would say it. So maybe you're saying, like, I'm ugly. Okay. And maybe that's a really deep wound for you, right? And that comes into like being seen, wounds of not wanting to be seen, self-concept, self-esteem, right? So I'm ugly. What is that weight? Maybe it's a 9. And that's pretty heavy, right? 10's the highest we go today. All right. So you write that down. Take a moment, write the weight. Maybe pause this if you need to. Now, the next part is the most mind-blowing part. I want you to take a moment and think about who actually installed that programming into your brain. Because we're just walking around like a computer. We're a bunch of programs from our beliefs, our values, our nervous system has all been programmed from our external environment and what we want to bring on, right? All right, so we got our limiting beliefs, we've got our weight, we have the person that said it to us. Now, 9 times out of 10, when I do this with clients, usually the person that has created that limiting belief is usually their self. Which is crazy.
Wow.
But there's also that one that it might be mom, dad, teacher, coach, sister, brother, caregiver, right? There's other people beyond our own thoughts that are providing us with feedback, right? And sometimes it's good, bad, or it's neutral. And so take a moment and be like, wow, why am I holding, like, what is that even doing? Is that any good? Like, what is that even doing? That 9 weight, you're just walking around with it, right? That belief that you're that. Now, what we're going to do is challenge that. And that's what's cool. This is where the neuroplasticity comes in and the rewiring of your brain. So we're now taking your computer and we're taking it to Best Buy and we're going to get it fixed. All right. And now you're going to install a new program. You're going to take your little disc, right? That little square disc. You remember that, right?
Oh, yeah, the floppy disc. We aging ourselves.
Yeah. You're going to put that in your computer and you're going to download it, or you're going to go to the App Store and you're going to download it, right? It's all the same thing. This new challenge you have to accept. So instead of I'm ugly, what can you say instead?
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful. I am beautifully made. I am perfectly whole. I am optimally well. I am wealthy, healthy, and happy. Like whatever. So that moment, that thought comes up, you pattern interrupt, and you're like, oh, hell no, not today, friends. I am beautiful. I am amazing. I am wealthy, healthy, and happy.
Yes.
Not that.
Yes.
No, that is not who I am. And then you're like, oh, that felt really good.
Mm-hmm.
Off of that situation. I'm going to do it again.
Yes.
And the next time that thought comes in, because it's a cycle, it's a habit, it's an addiction, you're going to be like, oh, hell no. Happy, healthy, wealthy. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. I am all the things. And that thought eventually is just going to start to get crushed by the new road, by the new pathways that you're creating. So now you're not pattern interrupting anymore. You don't even hear that I'm ugly. It's never even going to be inserted back into your mind. And when somebody does say that you're ugly, that you may have heard that from, and they bring that back in, you're going to be like, no, actually, friend, I'm happy, healthy, and wealthy, but good luck to you, right? Because that's where the true healing comes in. So that's a lot of what I do with clients, is just being like, I'm really no BS. Like, my last name is Knife, and I really do cut it like a knife. Like, I'm no bullshit. Like, I'll just tell you how it is. And it's just like, why are you kidding yourself, right? Like, this is what it is. And you can either choose a different way, or you can just keep going in it. And it's okay if you want to keep going in it. You're just not ready, but I'm here for when you're ready, right? Because we meet people where they're at. So that's a lot of what I do in somatic nursing. And yeah, it's changed my life, and that's what I teach. So yeah, it's such a big part of the festival. So yeah.
I love the practicality, and I think with a lot of these modern conferences, you're seeing a lot less PowerPoint teaching, a lot more. Let's start breathing. Let's actually embody some of this. Let's actually do the work right here, right now. Because most times you send people off with exercise and flyers and workbooks that don't get done.
No.
So this is really powerful, and I think when people realize that this is actually something that they not just going to learn new information, but they can actually participate while they're there, to start their healing, is especially as so many nurses are burnt out. So I just really love that facet of Modern Nurse Festival. Now, I have a question to ask you, Emily. This is a fun question. Okay. So if you close your eyes and you think about 10 years down the line, when Modern Nurse Festival has become absolutely incredibly a success, your phones are ringing off the chain, so many nurses are just crying, so appreciative that you push through the start of this to actually birth this movement to life. What would Modern Nurse Festival look like? What would it have done to the nursing profession?
Yes. Yeah. First of all, I just want to freaking cry, because I know how massive this is, and I know how many lives, not just nurses' lives, but like people in the community's lives are going to be changed. And it's a ripple effect. And that's what nurses are so good at, is creating ripples of change, whether it's in the policies that we are going for lobbying, at the Capitol, or boots on the ground, like in communities, helping out with vaccinations or giving food to people for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
10 years, we'll be in every single state, and we'll have a program director for every single state. We'll also have clubhouses in every major city that we go to that nurses can gather at and feel like they can talk about things like plant medicine or politics, and not feel repercussions or that they're going to lose their job, because that's like the reality of nursing. And so I want to create this super safe space. So every 48, we'll have a clubhouse. And not only that, probably within I would say 3 to 5 years, we'll be international. So we'll be London, Sydney is where I'm looking, Paris right now, and also tapping into like Dubai and even Asia. So it's a global situation at that point in
Mhm.
10 years. And honestly, I'll probably be sitting on a beach in like Bali at that point for just a moment to just take it all in. And
Yeah.
me and Jen will probably be right next to me, and you probably be there as well, and celebrating and just taking how amazing this moment is, because it's like way beyond me. It
Yes,
is.
yes. And just I just had a baby, so the birthing it's very, very difficult to birth. But as soon as that baby comes out, it's like you forget about it. But the
Yeah.
actual process in starting a business, starting a movement, it really is like birth. It is difficult.
Gosh.
And you get all the emotions that go along with it, and you're kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But that end watching that end results, knowing that the nurses really need this and the future nurses would really appreciate having this space, it's just so worth it. So I thank you, Emily. Thank you for being the midwife and the mother. I know you and Jen probably swap spaces. One day she's the mother, you're the midwife,
Yeah.
and it's good. That's why you both are at it,
Yeah.
right? But
Absolutely. Yeah. She's a huge part.
thank you for creating this space for nurses internationally to come together and to be held in your container,
Yeah.
Modern Nurse Festival.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Thank
And
you so much. Yeah. It looks, yeah, we had a couple, yeah, there's a couple people in the chat. Yeah. Thanks for coming, Kim. It's great to see you.
thank you. And she's really, oh yes, affirmations. Thank you for chiming in. You We believe that together, just imagine all these beautiful nurses walking into the room, just radiating their light. It's just going to be so wonderful.
Yeah.
And I know I definitely will have you back, and I will have Jen back as well. So I want to thank you for your time. If any nurses they're watching this, it is very easy to find modernnursefest.org. Very, very easy. Jen did a beautiful job with the website. If you want to contact, if you are a sponsor, you would like to reach out, we would love, love, love to have you. So we're just putting that plug. I so appreciate you this Sunday afternoon, Emily, just really sharing your heart and your vision with us.
Yeah. Thanks, Casey, for having me on. You're such an integral part. So yeah, thank you so much. And we're gonna share this podcast. By the way, why don't we do some episodes at Modern Nurse Fest? Like, let's do that. Let's do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot to be done. But
Yes.
you know what? We are just so happy. We're just so happy that we're part of this beginning, starting.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for being here, viewers. Kim, thank you for joining. We love you. And if you are a nurse, just know that help is on the way.
Yes, I love it. In our Mrs. Doubtfire voice.
Yeah, oh, yes. I
Help is on the
love
way, dear.
help is on the way. I love it. Love it. Well, you have a great evening, and we'll see you next week, viewers.
Bye.
Bye.